Okay, let's dive into this incredible story. We're talking about a single speech that literally changed the course of history for an entire continent. It's a story all about how powerful words, spoken at just the right moment, can help bring down empires and reshape the future for millions.
So picture this. It's midnight. A new nation, Ghana, is being born, and these are the first words its leader speaks. But their impact? Well, it stretched way beyond Ghana's borders, igniting hope in people listening on radios in cities and villages all across Africa.
You see, this wasn't just some political announcement. No, this was a declaration that set a powerful new precedent. It was like the first domino to fall, signaling to all the colonial powers that the era of their undisputed control was coming to a close. To really get how absolutely electric this moment was, we need to rewind a bit. What was the reality for millions of people across Africa before these words were ever spoken?
So what was the situation on the ground? Well, for the better part of a century, the continent's destiny really wasn't its own.
And this really shows you the stark contrast. On one side, you have a continent with borders literally drawn in rooms in Europe, governed by people who weren't from there. And on the other, you have this vision of self-determination, freedom, and crucially, continental unity.
The prevailing belief, especially among the colonial powers, was that this system was just unbreakable, an empire set in stone. And that's exactly what makes the man who challenged it all so remarkable.
So who was Kwame Nkrumah? Well, he wasn't born into power or privilege. He was a man shaped by powerful ideas and this deep conviction that change wasn't just possible, it was necessary. His journey really wasn't about inherited power. It was forged through education, deep belief, and an incredible connection with ordinary people. And his time in prison, well, that didn't silence his movement at all. It actually turned him into a living symbol of the struggle for freedom.
In this right here, this was the core belief that drove his entire movement. This simple, powerful idea that a country's future has to be decided by its own people. It was this conviction that led directly to that historic night in 1957.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Nkrumah immediately looked beyond his own country's victory. In what was probably his most powerful move, he understood that this moment was so much bigger than just Ghana.
With just this one sentence, he completely transformed a national victory speech into a continental call to action. He was basically telling the world, hey, this isn't the end, this is the beginning. And the effect was immediate and profound.
Think about this number for a second. In the decade that followed Nkrumah's speech, more than 30 African nations gained their independence. It was this absolute tidal wave of change that had seemed completely impossible just a few years earlier.
Those words from Accra created a massive domino effect across the whole continent, from Nigeria to Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda,